Hi everyone and welcome. Today I'd like to cover with you guys names of tools that you'll need if you're a first time or a beginner at making jewelry. You may not need all of these, but let's go through a few and that way you'll know the names of which ones they are. This first one here is a crimper tool. You'll need this to finish off your bracelets or necklaces. As you string along the beads, you're going to have a little bead at the very end called a crimper. And you're going to put that right there in between that edge. You're going to take that little tooth that it has, and I'll try to demonstrate it here for you. It's a tiny, tiny piece. This is a crimp bead. You'll stick that at the end of your anklets or at the end of your necklaces or bracelets as you're making it so that it not only gives you a decorative look, but it also keeps the wires together and from your beads sliding off, right? So what we do is you put that little bead, you've got your wires in there now, and you're going to squeeze it right between the teeth, right there. And you're going to take that little tooth and give it a good pinch. And that little crimp bead actually ends up in a U shape somewhat. And then what you'll do is, and I'll show you this on the next video because today we're just talking about tools, but you'll take that U shape and you're going to put it on another place on this tool and you're going to flatten it. So crimper tool is our number one. The second tool that we're going to be needing is going to be this flush cutter or a snip tool. It's got an edge that's very tight, and see that angled area there? That's important because as you're finishing off your projects, you're going to get into the teeny tiny nick right down where you need to snip the wire. And that's important that you have that angle there so you don't have a piece of wire sticking out scratching you. So that one is also a necessity. Our next tool is going to be the round nose plier. And this one says it all. You look at it, you can tell the nose on the pliers, both of those are round. It is gradient, so it starts out thick on the bottom and gets thinner and thinner on the top. This one you cannot go without because you're going to be twisting, you're going to be making loops. You can actually, even with this plier, make yourself some jump rings. I know you can buy jump rings, but let's say you're in a pinch and you just ran out of jump rings. You can actually twist your wire, and I'll show you this on another video as well, and make those little beads. One right here is called the flat nose plier. Now let's pay attention to this one. Do you see how it has a pointed nose even though it's flat? It is rounded on the outer edges, but it has a flat inner piece. It is pointy, and you could see the difference between this one and the rounded one where it's flat on the inside and the other one is rounded. But this one is a pointy one versus this other one right here. It's also a flat nose plier, but you can see it's flat on all angles. On the outer edges, you've got on the inside, it's flat. Putting them right next to each other, you can see the difference. You may be able to get away with not having both of these. You can just get one of those because they kind of have the same function. So if you're tight on budget, just go ahead and get one of them. I would recommend not this completely flat one, even though you'll need it for larger projects. Go ahead and stick to the one that has a thinner nose. This guy here is a wire cutter, not to be confused with a memory wire cutter. That's a whole different ball game. That little one there and this snipper here have somewhat of the same function, but not really. One will cut your wire after you're measuring it, and the snipper is a more of a detailed tool. And this one here, I've just discovered a few months ago. I'm sure it's been out. On one side, it's an actual ring. See the ring? It's got one slit here on this side and two on this other side here. And you use this on your finger instead of one of your pliers. So I'm still getting used to this tool, but if I'm finding it very nifty. If you have a trouble with small motor movements, this might be a great tool for you. It's not necessity, but this is how we used to do jump rings before this came out. Open and close with two pliers, always back and forth, never open them side to side. That will break it. But that's how we used to do it. And then with this one, see that? You put that ring right in the slit. If it's on that side, if it fits on that one, and you just close it. So it's kind of using it in place of your other pliers. It's kind of interesting. I'm still getting used to it, like I said, but it's a cool little tool. And then there you go. You can just close up your jump ring that way as well. And there you go, guys. So this is a few tools that don't have to break the bank, and hopefully that has been helpful to you. We've got your flat nose plier, the other flat nose plier that is pointed. We've got a wire cutter, a round nose plier. We've got our snipper tool and our crimp tool. And last but not least, of course, we have that ring, which is again optional. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I'm very excited to be part of your jewelry making journey. If you have any questions at all about what you saw today, go ahead and leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Have a great day.